Everybody back in the room. So we have Phil Drum has a long history in Saratoga playing the blues as not only a soloist but with many other acts, as known as the Resonators, which I play with him, and James plays with him, as well as a duo, the new duo Deep River, with James Gascoyne on the bass, Phil Drum on the guitar. Both Saratoga natives and long-time, let's say, bluesologists. You know what I mean? Experts in the field.
I was in a group called that too. It's funny. Anyway.
And they're going to give you their spin on what they believe is something you're going to enjoy an awful lot. So let's give a big welcome hand for Deep River.
Hi, folks. I want to say a few things. We're called Deep River, and people ask us why we're called Deep River, and it's for very deep and profound reasons. Do you remember what they were, James? No? Okay. Actually, it has to do with, seriously, the fact that the Deep River is American music. We love all kinds of American music, particularly old school, kind of roots music. We'd have called ourselves the Roots, but that was already taken. So it's Deep River. So, we like to do old school music, and music that we don't necessarily, we're involved in other projects. I do solo stuff, and Sonny mentioned we're in the Resonators. James does, what are you up to, about 28 projects now, last time we counted? Most particularly Drank the Gold, a fabulous duo he's in with Una Grady. Yeah. And, but anyways, we want to do some of this kind of stuff, which is old school country and old school, like jazz and standards. And yeah, old school blues too, right? So that's what we're here to do. And we're going to do, first half of the show is going to be other kinds of music other than blues per se, but we're influenced by the blues. And we're going to start with some kind of country, bluegrass stuff. We can do a song by Doc Watson. The other reason why we called ourselves Deep River is so that we could play this song first and say that it's our theme song, because it's Deep River Blues. Let it rain, let it pour, let it rain a whole lot more. I've got them Deep River blues. Let the rain pour right on, let the waves sweep along, 'cause I've got them Deep River blues. My old gal's a good old pal. She looks like a waterfowl when I get them Deep River blues. Ain't no one to cry for me, and the fishes go out on a spree when I get them Deep River blues. Me down my old boat, I'm gonna sail if she'll float. I've got them Deep River blues. Going back to Muscle Shoals, time goes better there, I'm told. I've got them Deep River blues. If my boat sinks with me, I'm going down, 'cause you see, I've got them Deep River blues. Now's the time to say goodbye. If I drown, just let me die. I've got them Deep River blues. Okay, thank you very much. All right, I guess we're going to do another one now in that country flavor.
Yeah, this is an old Hank Williams tune about the perils of having a good time. I'm a rolling stone, all alone and lost. For a life of sin, I paid the cost. When I pass by, all the people say, there goes another guy on the lost highway. Just a deck of cards and a jug of wine, and a hobo's life is a life like mine. Since the day we met, I went astray, started rolling down that lost highway. I was just a lad, barely 22, neither good nor bad, just a kid like you. But now I'm gone, too late to save, started rolling down that lost highway. All before you done start all your ramblings round. For a life of sin, you'll be sorrow bound. Take my advice, you'll curse the day you start rolling down that lost highway. Not go down that lost highway. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to do a couple. Now we're going to go from country, Hank Williams, to jazzy blues, or bluesy jazz, as the case may be. We're going to do a song by a guy named Mose Allison, who played here at Caffè Lena. Joette and I went to see him. It was one of the best concerts I've ever gone to. He passed away a few years ago. He was just an American gift. So if you ever can check out his music, please do. One of his more famous songs was called Your Mind is on Vacation, but Your Mouth is Working Overtime. Think about that one, particularly before you shout anything out there, because he used to sing it to hecklers. So this one is a good tune. Really captures a lot of what you might want to say about the times we're living in. It's called Everybody's Crying Mercy When They Don't Know the Meaning of the Word. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm seeing. I'm wondering about those things I've heard. Everybody's crying mercy when they don't know the meaning of the word. A bad enough situation is sure enough getting worse. Everybody's crying peace on earth as long as there's business first. Touch and go, stop and go, give a cheer, get your souvenir. People running round in circles, don't know what they're headed for. Everybody's crying peace on earth just as soon as we win this war. Straight ahead, knock 'em dead. Pack your kit, get your hypocrite. You don't have to go to off-Broadway to see something plain absurd. Everybody's crying mercy when they don't know the meaning of the word. Nobody knows the meaning of the word. So we do another couple of sort of jazzy, kind of old standards kinds of music. And we're going to do two songs by somebody you undoubtedly know and have heard of, Duke Ellington. And the first one we're going to do by Duke Ellington, who of course was just a force of nature in American culture and for 40 or 50 years, from the 20s to into the 70s. And he had a lot of great songs, and this is one that's not that well known, but it's a really cool song. It's called Tulip or Turnip. Now, you might not think you'd want to necessarily hear a song called Tulip or Turnip, but I guarantee you'll be glad you did. And also, I'll point out that this song has more metaphors per square inch than any other song I've ever heard. So if you listen carefully, I think you'll know what I'm talking about. Tulip, a turnip, rosebud, a rhubarb, fillet, or giant beef stew. Tell me, tell me, tell me, dream face, what am I to you? Diamond, doorknob, sapphire, or sawdust, champagne, or just homebrew. Tell me, tell me, tell me, dream face, what am I to you? Do I get the booby prize, or will I be the hero? Am I zero. Tulip, turnip, moonbeam, or mud pie, bankroll, or IOU. Tell me, tell me, tell me, dream face, what am I to you? Get the booby prize, or will I be the hero? Am I sailing for blue skies, or is my ceiling zero? Tulip, turnip, moonbeam, or mud pie, bankroll, or IOU. Tell me, tell me, tell me, dream face, what am I to you? 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 Thank you. I counted 20 metaphors in that song. I just want to point that out. That's over 10 metaphors a minute. That's amazing. Okay, now we're going to do a Duke Ellington song. You know, Duke Ellington wrote a lot of songs we all know. Take the A Train. And Don't Get Around Much Anymore, which was a great song for all of us for about the last year and a half, right? And this one's a pretty well-known one. There's no metaphors in this, although in a sense, the whole song is a metaphor for life. It's called It Don't Mean a Thing If It Ain't Got That Swing. Da-ba-boo, ra-ba-boo, ra-ba-doo-ah-doo-ah-doo-ah-doo-ah-doo. Here we go. Nothing if it ain't got that swing. Do-wah, 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 do-wah. Well, it don't mean a thing. All you got to do is sing. Do-wah, 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 do-wah. Makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. Just give that rhythm everything you've got. It don't mean nothing if it ain't got that swing. Do-wah, 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 do-wah. James Gascoyne. Well, it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do-wah, 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 do-wah. It don't mean a thing. All you got to do is sing. Do-wah, 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 do-wah. Makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. Just give that rhythm, give it everything you've got. Well, it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do-wah, 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 do-wah. Do-wah, 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 yeah! I was going to throw my hat in the air, but I didn't get up there in time. I'm sorry. But thank you. Now that's good old American music. Now from this point, actually, we're going to play some blues, right?
Yeah, I think so. So what do we got?
Well, do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a song. James can't see it. I can't really see it either. So let's just hope we're ready for the next tune. Actually, we're going into the blues. It's a very interesting thing. We didn't necessarily plan it this way, but James can do a song written by Willie Dixon, played originally by Elmore James, using an arrangement pretty much based on one done by Eric Clapton. So it covers the whole range of electric blues when you think about it.
And I learned this song from my friend George Fletcher. Has anyone seen George Fletcher? Yes. George Fletcher. Yes. Excellent local blues guitar player. Oh, great.
All right.
That's awesome. Yeah, so big shout out to George. You know, I think I was walking down Caroline Street one time, maybe right after I moved to town, and he was teaching lessons at a Matt's old place on Caroline Street there, and I could hear him playing. I walked back in, like, hey, can I jam with you? You know, I was like, 21 or something, and he was like, all right, and he let me play with him, and we got to do a lot of playing. He kind of gave me some of my first performance opportunities in town, so, and learned a lot of great tunes from him. This is one of them, Can't Hold Out. I just talked to my babe on the telephone. She said, stop what you're doing, come on home, but I can't hold out. I can't hold out that long. I get a real good feeling talking to you on the phone. You said, wait a minute, babe, I can't stand to hear you cry. You know I wanna love you, can't wait another night. No, I can't hold out. I can't hold out that long. I get a real good feeling talking to you on the phone. Babe, you can take a train, you can walk, run, or fly. You know I wanna see you, can't wait another night. No, I can't hold out. I can't hold out that long. I get a real good feeling talking to you on the phone. Gotta talk to me, baby. Why don't you talk to me, baby? I get a real good feeling talking to you on the phone. I get a real good feeling talking to you on the phone. I get a real good feeling talking to you on the phone. Thank you. I think when Elmore James wrote that, phones were maybe kind of a newer
They
thing.
were kind of a big deal then.
like-
yeah. Right, man. It was nice talking to people on the phone, if you recall. Anyways, so and the next phase of our show will now actually focus on acoustic blues, old school acoustic blues from way back, and James is going to start with a couple.
Cool.
You know which one first?
Yeah, I think I
It
said
says,
Elmore
"See that
James.
my
I said,
grave is kept
oh right, yeah. I think I said Elmore James, but Phil corrected me. It was actually Willie Dixon that wrote that last tune. You know, now that I think about it, that riff is so very Willie Dixon. So, thank you, Phil.
May we all be very Willie Dixon.
Yes. Well, this is a tune I heard on a B.B. King album. It's one of his later albums called One Kind Favor, I think from 2005 or something. But B.B. King was one of the first artists that really captured my attention for guitar. You know, I kind of started out playing music on guitar, and he really made the guitar just sing in a way that I think, you know, is, you know, kind of legendary. Everyone knows what he did, and it's really incredible. And he was still making music, you know, I think till he passed away. But I
Poor
just
guy
love this
couldn't
record.
stand up, and he was still making.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He's a legend. But I just love this song. It's "See That My Grave Is Kept Clean."
And may I point out, it's also originally done by Blind Lemon Jefferson, one of the greats of the acoustic blues back in the 20s. Just want to say that.
Yeah, yeah. Ain't but one kind favor I'll ask of you. But one kind favor I'll ask of you. There's just one kind favor I'll ask of you. See that my grave is kept clean. There's two white horses in a line. There's two white horses in a line. There's two white horses in a line, gonna carry me to my burying ground. Did you ever hear a coffin sound? Did you ever hear a coffin sound? Did you ever hear a coffin sound? Then you know that a poor man's in the ground. Won't you dig my grave with a silver spade? Won't you dig my grave with a silver spade? Won't you dig my grave with a silver spade and lower me down with a golden chain? There's just one kind favor I'll ask of you. There's but one kind favor I'll ask of you. There's but one kind favor I'll ask of you. See that my grave is kept clean. See that my grave is kept clean. Yeah. Thank you. Cool. Well, speaking of learning tunes, kind of on the job, I learned this next one from a lot of people have done this. This blues, this deep Ellum blues. I learned it from a guitar player named Larry Kleiman, who I got to play with a number of years ago. He's since fled the town for Colorado, but he had this kind of unique riff in this song, and it has always stuck with me, so got to give a shout to Larry for that. The Deep Ellum Blues. If you go down to Deep Ellum to have a little fun, better bring your $5 or $10 for the policeman comes. Oh, sweet mama, daddy's got the Deep Ellum Blues. I said, oh, sweet mama, daddy's got the Deep Ellum Blues. If you go down to Deep Ellum, keep your money in your pants. The women in Deep Ellum will give you the Deep Ellum Blues. Oh, sweet mama, daddy's got the Deep Ellum Blues. I said, oh, sweet mama, daddy's got the Deep Ellum Blues. Preached the Bible through and through. Went down to Deep Ellum, now his preaching days are through. Whoa, sweet mama, daddy's got the Deep Ellum Blues. I said, oh, sweet mama, daddy's got the Deep Ellum Blues. She meant the world to me. She went down to Deep Ellum now. She ain't who she used to be. Oh, sweet mama, Daddy's got the Deep Ellum blues. I said, oh, sweet mama, Daddy's got them Deep Ellum blues. I said, oh, sweet mama, Daddy's got them Deep Ellum blues.
Thank you, Deep Ellum Blues. And kind of mirror what we did with doing a couple of Duke Ellington songs. I'm going to do a couple of songs by a great old acoustic blues player. His name is Blind Boy Fuller. And he was pretty popular back in the day, recorded between 1935 and 1940, generally considered to be a Piedmont blues artist, came from North Carolina. And he hung out very closely and allegedly learned a lot from Reverend Gary Davis. Reverend Gary Davis always said that Blind Boy Fuller learned a lot from him. Maybe it was the other way around, but who cares? Anyways, Reverend Gary Davis, as you might know, played here several times. So it's a nice connection there. So this is Blind Boy Fuller, going to do two songs by him. The first one is a real pretty number, I'd say. Wouldn't you agree, James?
Oh, yeah.
A real pretty number called Weepin' Willow Blues. Lord, that weeping willow and that mourning dove, that weeping willow and that mourning dove. I gotta gallop the country, Lord, that I sure do love. Now if you see my woman, tell her to hurry home. If you see that woman, tell her to hurry home. I ain't had no loving since my little baby's been gone. When there ain't no love, there ain't no getting along. When there ain't no love, there ain't no getting along. My woman treats me so mean and dirty, sometimes I don't know right from wrong. I laid down last night trying to take my rest. I laid down last night trying to take my rest. You know my mind got to rambling like the wild geese in the west. I'm gonna find me a bulldog, watch you whilst I sleep. I'm gonna find me a bulldog, watch you whilst I sleep. So those men you've been loving can stop making their midnight creep. Now if you see my woman, tell her to hurry home. If you see my woman, tell her to hurry home. I ain't had no loving since my little baby's been gone. You're gonna want my love, babe, some old lonesome day. You're gonna want my love, babe, some old lonesome day. But it'll be too late, I'll be too far gone away. Thank you.
Yeah, bro. Nice.
And we're going to close with another Blind Boy Fuller song, appropriate for closing, because it's called Step It Up and Go, because that's what we're going to do. But you stick around and watch Dave Scheffel and Ray Giguere. This is a great old song done by Blind Boy Fuller, also by a bunch of people. Bob Dylan covered it, all kinds of people covered it. Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee. And it's called, as I said, might as well get the words there, Step It Up and Go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. I had a little girl, she was little and low. She used to love me, but she don't know more. She gotta step it up and go. Yeah, go. Well, you can't stand back, I swear. You gotta step it up and go. I got a little girl, she stays upstairs, trying to make a living by putting on air. She gotta step it up and go. Yeah, go. Well, she can't stand pat, I swear. She gotta step it up and go. Front door shut, back 1, 2. Blinds pulled down, what you gonna do? You gotta step it up and go. Yeah, go. Well, you can't stand pat, I swear. You gotta step it up and go. Little girl, her name was Ma. Gave a little bit, but she took it all. She gotta step it up and go. Yeah, go. Well, you can't stand pat, I swear. You gotta step it up and go. Me and my baby walking down the street, dealing everybody but the chief of police. He gotta step it up and go. Yeah, go. Well, you can't stand pat, I swear. You gotta step it up and go. My woman, tell her to hurry home. I ain't had no loving since she's been gone. She gotta step it up and go. Yeah, go. Well, you can't stand pat, I swear. You gotta step it up and go. I'll sing this verse, ain't gonna sing no more. I hear my baby calling and I gotta go. You gotta step it up and go. Yeah, go. Well, you can't stand pat, I swear. You gotta step it up and go. Well, you can't stand pat, I swear. You gotta step it up and go. Deep River, thank you very much, folks. Stick around for Dave Scheffel and Ray Giguere.
So don't be stepping it up and going out of here. Stick around. Ray Giguere is going to be here with Dave Scheffel on harp. They're both members of the Saratoga Acoustic Society's board. And like I said, tonight we're putting all the board members up. Something I failed to mention, you just listened to Phil Drum and James Gascoyne. Both have been inducted into the New York Blues Hall of Fame. Phil as a soloist, and James as part of the George Fletcher Blues Band. Next month, the George Fletcher Blues Band will be here as the featured artist, Blues Hall of Fame inducted band, as well as individual members. So if you want to look for that, it's always on the fourth Wednesday of the month. Saratoga Acoustic Blues Society, we are here. And in the meantime, if you're not a member of Caffè Lena, please consider becoming a member or donating. You know what I mean? It's the best way to spend an evening in Saratoga. Great entertainment as always. We're just going to do a quick swap out, talk amongst yourself, order some more food, some more drinks. I'm Sonny Speed. And while we're on right now, I just want to remind everybody that Radio X on Wednesday nights, right now at 7 p.m., you can hear me taped on the radio show. So if you're looking for blues on Wednesday nights, tune in RadioX.com on your phones. Monday nights, WRPI, Stormy Monday Blues, and catch up with what's going on in the blues world. Just give us 2 seconds here. I'm going to change out. One more time. Deep River. Give him a big hand. Just like to mention those that are listening at home that there's a virtual tip jar on the bottom of your screen right about here if you're watching at home. And all that money that comes in goes to the artists and the cafe. The Saratoga Acoustic Blues Society is not taking a piece of that. We're making sure that the artists stay alive and well in this times as they got tough. So please donate what you can online. It says the tip jar started right on your screen right there. Caffè Lena's tip jar if you're watching from home.
We're good? Yeah.
All right, so our upcoming next, a couple of more long-standing Saratogians. Ray Giguere is an accomplished acoustic guitar player who deep dives into the blues, some of the old vintage players, and he's been doing this for a long time around here. Him and Dave Scheffel on harmonica have been the duo for quite many years. When I moved up here to Saratoga over 10 years ago, I found the Saratoga Acoustic Blues Society right here in this room, and these guys were part of it. As long as Phil Drum, they graciously invited me to join them. I guess they needed a mouthpiece, because I'm a piano player. I don't really play the acoustic guitar, but I'm a Blues Hall of Fame inducted piano player myself. But one of these days, next month, you could actually see me with the George Fletcher Blues Band. I'll be playing with them next month. But right now, Ray and Dave are going to knock out some classic blues. So put a nice warm welcome for Ray Giguere and David Scheffel.
Oh. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Let me take a minute, to welcome everybody back to the unmasked status. And Dave and I played to an empty stage here back in September. It was the last time, and it was only virtual. That was kind of different. It's great to see everybody out. I also want to take a minute to thank Sonny and of course Sarah and the other folks here, Ian on sound, for arranging this and helping us connect with the early acoustic blues. We're going to do a number of numbers from just a few artists, including Robert Johnson, Tommy Johnson, Mississippi John Hurt. Hurt, by the way, played on this stage back in the early 60s, as did Gary Davis. And so it's the kind of stuff that Dave and I usually do. We met here shortly after you got here, Dave, right? So 2002 or 2003 in the old green room. And then Phil had the idea to make this an acoustic blues society of just a few people. So we're going to start with a Robert Johnson number called 3220 Blues. It goes like this. I sent for my baby, man, and she won't come. I sent for my baby, man, and she won't come. All them doctors in New York sure can't help her none. She gets unruly, thinks she don't want to. She gets unruly, thinks she don't want to. Take this 3220, cut her half in two. Got a 38 special, I believe it's most too light. Got a 38 special, I believe it's most too light. Got the 3220, gotta make them camps all night. Tell me, mama, where you been last night? Won't you tell me, mama, where you been last night? You know your hair's all tangled, you ain't talking right. Won't you tell me, boys, how can I take my rest? Won't you tell me, boys, how can I take my rest? This 3220 laying up and down my breast. I sent for my baby, man, and she won't come. I sent for my baby, man, and she won't come. You know those doctors in New York sure can't help her none.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks, folks. Well, as some of you, most of you know, Robert Johnson only recorded about 27 or 28 songs, and he was dead by 1937 or 38. He was murdered. He's only 27 years old. But those songs have changed the face of American music, and there's no question that the rock that followed, but be it Led Zeppelin, Eric Clapton, and so on, filled in those many of his tunes with electric stuff. Another great bluesman from that period was Blind Lemon Jefferson. He grew up in East Texas. For a while, Leadbelly apparently played with him when Leadbelly was younger. But this is a tune about being down and out. It sort of fits the pandemic mood. It's called One Dime Blues. I was standing on East Carroll Street one day, standing on East Carroll Street one day. I was standing on East Carroll Street one day. One dime was all I had. One dime was all I had. One dime was all I had. I'm broke and I ain't got a dime. Everybody gets them hard luck at times. Mamas, don't treat your daughters mean. Mamas, don't treat your daughters mean. Mamas, don't treat your daughters mean. That's the worst thing a man most ever seen. You want your friends to be bad like Jesse James. Want your friends to be bad like Jesse James. Want your friends to be bad like Jesse James. Get yourself a 6-shooter and rob a treasure train. So I bought me that morning news. I got me that morning news. I bought me that morning news. And I got me a cigar or two. I'm broke, I ain't got a dime. So broke and I ain't got a dime. Broke and I ain't got a dime. Everybody hits them hard luck at times. All right, Dave Scheffel on harmonica.
Before I forget, there's the virtual tip jar that benefits Caffè Lena for all the live streamers out there. And it also for the musicians. And anyway, if...
It's right there.
Yeah, it's right there. Virtually somewhere right there. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that before I forget. Thank you.
All righty, I mentioned earlier that Mississippi John Hurt graced the stage back in the early 60s. Those of you who know and have heard Dave Van Ronk here probably know that Dave was responsible for bringing him up here as well as Gary Davis in that period. Of course, Dave's no longer with us. Anyway, this is a tune that from John Hurt called "Make Me a Palette." Make me down a pallet on your floor. Make me down a pallet on your floor. Make it soft, make it low, nobody has to know. Make me down a pallet on your floor. Make me a pallet, make it soft, make it low, make it right behind your door. Have my breakfast here, my dinner in Tennessee. Take my breakfast here, my dinner in Tennessee. Have my breakfast here, dinner in Tennessee. Ain't no telling about a man like me. Make me down a pallet on your floor. Make me down a pallet on your floor. Make it soft, make it low, nobody has to know. Make me a pallet on your floor. Way I'm sleeping, my back and shoulders tired. Way I'm sleeping, Lord, my back and shoulders tired. The way I'm sleeping, my back and shoulders tired. Turn around and try it on the side. going up the country, the cold, sleet, and snow. I'm going up the country, cold, sleet, and snow. I'm going up the country, that cold, sleet, and snow. Tell me, darling, won't you wanna go? Make me down a pallet on your floor. Make me down a pallet on your floor. Make it soft, make it low, nobody has to know. You make me a pallet on your floor.
Thank you.
Thanks, folks. Thank you. This next tune is by Blind Blake. Blake disappeared from the scene after being very successful in the 1920s. I think he cut something like 80 records with Paramount in the 20s, and then he just disappeared. It wasn't until a few years ago that people found out he was buried somewhere near Milwaukee. But there's a little humor in this one. This is called Chumpman Blues. Going down to that river, take a great big jump. Down to that river, gonna take a great big jump. I once was a wise man, a woman made me a chump. Sure is funny how far a man can fall. Sure is funny how far a man can fall. When he gets to thinking one woman has got it all. See, my baby threw me out, I was walking down them tracks. My baby threw me out, I was walking down them tracks. Soon I was back at her doorstep, begging her to take me back. Had me a gal, was the mean and nagging kind. Once had me a gal, was the mean and nagging kind. She had a special quiver, make a good man lose his mind. So I'm going to that river, take a great big jump. Down to the river and take a great big jump. Once a wise man, woman made me a chump. Chumpman Blues. I'm sorry? Business? Oh, yes, of course. Dave was reminding me that I was going to mention a few things, like thanking people once again, particularly Joel, who's on doing the live streaming for us, and Ian. Obviously, I want to thank also the Phil and James, who did a wonderful job in the opening round. Let's have a hand for those folks, please. I also want to thank the volunteers and all the folks who make this place work. It's been a great story since 1960, that's for sure. So we're going to do another Robert Johnson number. This one is very very representative of the Delta blues. Been at the tune here, which is a really, I mean, all the blues are highly emotional. I come to believe that there's a blues tune for every human emotion. It's one of the great love songs, I think, called Kind-Hearted Women Blues. A kind-hearted woman do anything in this world for me. A kind-hearted woman do anything in this world for me. These evil-hearted women would not let me be. Kind-hearted woman studies evil all the time. Got a kind-hearted woman studying evil all the time. Just as well to kill me, honey, as to have it on your mind. Thing that makes Mr. Johnson drink, I get worried about how you treat me, babe. I begin to think, oh, babe, my life won't be the same. It breaks my heart every time you mention so-and-so's name. One day, I'll kiss your hand goodbye. Someday, I'll kiss your hand goodbye. I can't give you any more of my loving, I just ain't satisfied. Kind-hearted woman, do anything in this world for me. Kind-hearted woman, do anything in this whole world for me. These evil-hearted women would not let me be. Thanks very much. Dave Scheffel on harp. How's everybody doing? Good? Yeah? Great. It's really great to be back at Lena's. It's wonderful to see folks, as I mentioned earlier. And this next tune was my daughter's favorite when she was 3 or 4 years old, because it's an old traditional. John Hurt did probably the definitive version of it, about the struggle, if you will, between good and evil, personified in a couple of men, called Stagger Lee Blues. Been done by a ton of people, but if you haven't heard John Hurt's version, you ought to check it out. In fact, John Hurt, this alternate bass that everybody uses, who plays just about any acoustic guitar, Hurt's credited with pretty much, patenting that back in the early 1920s. Could have been on a rainy morning, could have been on a rainy night. Stagger Lee and Billy the Lions had a great big fight. Talking about that bad man, cruel Stagger Lee. Stagger Lee and Billy the Lions, 2 men who gambled and laid. Billy had 7s, Stagger Lee swore he had 8s. You know he's a bad man, cruel Stagger Lee. Police officer, how can it be you can arrest everybody but cruel Stagger Lee? That bad man. Billy the Lions told Stagger Lee, please don't take my life. I got 2 little children, darling, loving wife. But he's a bad man, cruel Stagger Lee. What I care about your children, your darling, loving wife. You done stole my Stetson hat, I'm bound to take your life. Bad man, ooh, Stagger Lee. Boom, 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 went that 44. Bob Willis cried, Billy the Lions dead on the floor. He's a bad man, ooh, Stagger Lee. Gentlemen of the jury, what do you think of that? Billy Lions killed for a $5 Stetson hat. Bad man, cruel Stagger Lee. Standing on the gallows, head way up high. 12 o'clock they killed him, all glad to see him die. Talking about that bad man, cruel Stagger Lee. Could have been on a rainy morning, could have been on a rainy night. Stagger Lee and Billy the Lions had a great big fight. Bad man, cruel Stagger Lee. That's it. This next tune, I believe I heard here first from Dave Van Ronk back in the late 80s. It's also another traditional tune, the origin of which is most likely unknown. But a story about gambling, no doubt, down in Louisiana, perhaps New Orleans. It's called Gambler's Blues. Down in old Joe's barroom on a corner by the square, they were serving drinks as usual. The usual crowd were there. On my left stood Big Joe McKennedy. His eyes were bloodshot red. He turned to the crowd around him. These were the very words that he said. I went down to that St. James infirmary. I saw my baby there, stretched out on a long white table, so cold, so cool, so fair. Let her go, God bless her, wherever she may be. She'll search the whole world over, find a loving man like me. So when I die, please bury me, my high-top Stetson hat, put a jazz band on my hearse wagon. God'll know I died standing pat. I want 6 crap shooters for Paul Bears, a chorus girl to sing us a song. Put a blues band on my hearse wagon. Raise hell as we roll along. So now you've heard my story, and I have another shot of booze. If anyone is asking, I got the St. James Infirmary blues. Let's hear it for Dave on harp. Beautiful
Thank you.
play. All righty. There are a number of Johnson blues players in the 1920s and 30s besides Robert. They were a little lesser known. This one, Tommy Johnson, had a few really big hits. And those of you who are of the vintage of Dave and I might remember in the 1960s, there was a group called Canned Heat. They took their name from this song of Tommy Johnson's that had preceded them by about 30 years. And the reason that the song has to do with drinking, and it has to do with the unfortunate situation of not having enough means to buy alcohol, or perhaps even during Prohibition, get it. And so a number of poor folks would Bisternos, the kind of things we use to heat fondues and filter them and drink that really dangerous alcohol, which eventually could kill you. So Tommy wrote this song called Can't Heat Blues. Woke up this morning, can't heat on my mind. Woke up this morning, oh, can't heat on my mind. Run here, somebody, and take these can't heat blues. I said, run here, somebody, and take these can't heat blues. Mama, 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 can't heat killing me. Can't heat don't kill me. Lord, I'll never die. This old can't heat don't kill me. Lord, I'll never die. So can't he don't kill me. You know I'll never die. Woke up this morning, can't heat round my bed. I woke up this morning, that old can't heat round my bed. Run here, somebody, and take these can't heat blues. I said, run here, somebody, and take these can't heat blues. Thank you. Well, we should remind the virtual audience that we're delighted to have them here too. And as Dave mentioned earlier, there is a tip jar to the benefit of the musicians and the cafe. And thank everybody for coming out. We've just probably a couple more tunes. Is Sonny in the house? Keep going? All right. Oh, we have more than a couple then. That's good to hear. Another Tommy Johnson song, which was also a big hit in that period, is a tune I really like. Let me just check my tuning really quick, speaking of tunes, because it has a lot to do with indecision, and particularly when it comes to making decisions about which way relationships are going to go. And like many blues songs, it sort of doesn't really gets right to the point, I guess I'd put it that way. It's called Big Road Blues, and was apparently a very popular tune. It goes like this. Going down that big road by my, can't you hear me talking, pretty mama? Ain't going down big road by myself. If I can't carry you, I'll carry somebody else. Oh, why do you do me like you do? Why don't you do me like you done before? Why do you do me like you do? Take a poor man's money, sure enough won't take mine. Take a poor man's money, sure enough won't take mine. Well, the sun's gonna shine on my back door someday. Pretty mama, the sun's gonna shine on my back door someday. Jingle, jingle, blow my blues away. I said, blingle, bingle, blow my blues away. Cause I ain't going down that big road by mine. Can't you hear me talk, pretty mama? Be going down that big road by myself. If I can't carry you, carry somebody else. Big road blues. Well, Phil, of course, is mentioning also Gary Davis, who, as I mentioned earlier, was also playing here and became really close friends with Lena. I had a chance to meet Lena a few years before she passed away and ask her a little bit about those guys. And it's well known that they were really tremendous friends. As a matter of fact, I should remember to tell you that this Saturday, one of the last great alive still blues players, Roy Bookbinder, will be at Caffè Lena's on Saturday night. I count Roy and a group of people like Dave Van Ronk and Paul Jeremiah that were just incredible influences and really musical heroes for me and a lot of other people. And Roy was Gary Davis's chauffeur for about a decade. Davis was blind, and Roy went for a guitar lesson in the late 60s after coming back from Vietnam, not knowing what to do, and for $5 he went over to Davis's house and he never left, basically. And he's got tremendous stories about Gary Davis. He plays a lot of his tunes and a lot of other tunes. He's a phenomenal player. So if you like any of this old stuff, you should really try to catch Roy here at Lena's. He comes practically almost every year, thank God, and he's going to be 75 this year, I think. So anyway, where am I going? Cocaine Blues is a tune that Davis made famous, and then, of course, everybody else did it, from Clapton to... who else did it? Dave Van Ronk did it, Clapton, lots of folks. And this song, according to Reverend Davis, goes back to 4. And Roy says he was referring to 1904 when he first heard it as a kid down in Spartanburg, South Carolina. I spent a few years when I was younger in Germany. This song is international, this particular style. And so the Germans have their own verses for this. So I'll drop a couple of those in just for fun, because they're kind of cool. But, well, you'll hear. Walking down 5th Street, coming up Main, looking for a woman gonna buy cocaine, all around my brain. Oh, mama, come here quick. This old cocaine's making me sick. Cocaine all around my brain. comes a lady all dressed in blue. Oh, sweet mama, what you gonna do? Cocaine all around my brain. Oh, mama, come here soon. This old cocaine, shoot me to the moon. Cocaine all around my brain. Cokes for horses, not for men. The doc says it killed me, but he wouldn't say when. Cocaine all around my brain. Oh, mama, come here quick. This old cocaine's making me sick. Cocaine all around my brain. Ich kam von Frankfurt nach Berlin. 3 Koffer voll mit Kokain. Cocaine all around my brain. Oh Mama, komm schnell her, halt mich fest, ich kann nicht mehr. Cocaine all around my brain. Oh Mama, komm schnell her, halt mich fest, ich kann nicht mehr. Cocaine all around my brain. Meine Frau heißt Evelyn. Ich weiß nicht, liebt sie mich oder mehr mein Kokain? Cocaine around my brain. Oh Mama, komm schnell her, halt mich fest, ich kann nicht mehr. Cocaine around my brain.
Thank you.
Thanks, folks. Now, let's see. Another classic traditional tune, which goes way back, it's known to have gone back to Elizabeth Cotten, who, 19th century blues player. It was very rare, I think, back then for women, at least on guitar, to play. Women were, by the way, the first blues artists. You probably know that from the 1920s, but Cotten went back even further. This is called Freight Train. It's in D, Dave. Let's see. Freight train, going so fast. Freight train, going so fast. I don't know which train I'm on. Won't you tell me where I'm bound? Freight train, round the bend. Freight train, back again. I don't know which train I'm on. You could tell me where I'm on. When I die, bury me deep under the hill on Chestnut Street. There I can hear old number 9. She goes on rolling by. train, going so fast. Freight train, going so fast. I don't know which train I'm on. Tell me where I'm bound.
Thank you.
All righty, we got time for one more. And let's see. I'll do a tune that, well, I think I'll just do Bad Luck Blues. That's okay, Dave? Yeah. It's one of the tunes, end up with a Blind Lemon tune. This is a little choppy for harp, but... Oh, by the way, the words are about clothing, not about... Well, I want to go home, but I ain't got sufficient clothes. All right, bad luck blues, all I've got. I ain't got sufficient clothes. Sold my clothes, and I ain't got sufficient clothes. I bet my money lost, that's right now, mama. Bet my money and it sure is gone. I bet my money lost it and now it's gone. I ain't never gonna bet on that queen of spades no more. Well, you take the Kitty, I'll take the Santa Fe. Oh Lord, my bad luck soul. You take the Katy, I'll take the Santa Fe. Get to Denver, Colorado, Mama, won't you look for me? Well, I wanna go home, but I ain't got sufficient clothes. Oh Lord, bad luck soul. Wanna go home, ain't got sufficient clothes. See, I sold my clothes and I ain't got sufficient clothes. Alrighty, folks. Thanks so much. Let's thank again Phil and James and all the folks at the Café. Really appreciate you coming out to support the blues. Look forward to seeing you another time.
Thank you, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this month's version of Saratoga Acoustic Blues Society. Once again, Ray Giguere and David Scheffel. Next month, we're featuring the George Fletcher Blues Band, New York Blues Hall of Fame inducted band. And we also got Mark Emanation and Jeremy Wall, some great blues artists out of Albany as well. So if you got it, fourth Wednesday of the month, remember the Blues Society is here. We'll see you again. Thank you.